Hello students, welcome to the ninth lecture on the topic sequence and series. So today we will start with the power series. So what is this power series? Power series is mainly the infinite series containing the power of some variable like x. So we will discuss how this power series, like under what condition this power series converges and diverges and for what values of x. So let's start with power series. So firstly I'll discuss how you write the power series about x is equal to 0. So the power series around the x is equal to 0 is given by this. So you can see that this is an infinite series which contains the power of some variable like this x, and C1, C2, C0, C1, C2 are some constants. Okay, so now we will see how to express the power series around some point x is equal to a. So I'll write it down, power series x is equal to a. So the power series about x is equal to a is a series of this form, where a is called the center of the series, and again C0, C1, Cn and all are the constant coefficient. Now you can see that if x is equal to, if we put a is equal to 0, we get the particular case which we discussed before, that it will become the power series around x is equal to 0. So we will now discuss the nature of these power series, that for what values of x the power series converges, diverges, or it is absolutely convergent or conditionally convergent. So let us start with the convergence theorem of power series. Okay, so consider a power series. The theorem statement is, consider the power series of the form this, that is around x is equal to 0. So then if power series this one converges for x is equal to c, which is not equal to 0, then it will also converge for every x with mod of x less than mod of c. That means that if it converges, then for all x which is less than c, it will also converge. Now second is, if the power series diverges for x is equal to d, then it also diverges for every x with. So these two statements are the statement for the theorem of the power series. So we will not prove this, but you will see how this holds with the help of some example. Okay, so now we will discuss some possible behavior of the power series. I'll write down possible behavior of the series. This is a power series with the center A. So the possible behavior of this for convergence or divergence, that is for what values of x the power series converge or diverge, and we will also discuss two things, that is the radius of convergence and the interval of convergence. So we can have three cases. Case 1, the power series can, that is your power series 1, this is your 1, can converge absolutely for some values of x and is given by Like in the case when it converges for some values of x, then you can write this is mod of x minus a, where a is the center and r is called as a radius of convergence, where r is positive real number and a is any real number. That means that a can be positive or negative and r is our positive real number. So that means that I can write this as this. This means that x converges for the values in between a minus r and r plus a. So this r is called as radius of convergence. I'll tell you how to find out this r, so that you can determine for which interval of x the series converges, and it will converge absolutely for this value of x, that is in between these two values. That is, we can write that is the series 1 will converge absolutely in interval, and series diverges for is greater than r. If it converges in this interval, then it will diverge for this interval. It can be proven by the nth term test, like the nth term will not go to 0 if this condition holds true. So now we haven't said anything about the end point. So at end point of this interval, that is x is equal to a minus r and x is equal to a plus r, the series 1 may or may not converge. So at these points we need to check convergence of the series separately. So you have seen case 1 in which the power series is converging for some values of x, and after that values, like after this, it will diverge. But at the end point we again need to check separately that whether the series converges or diverges. Now there is case 2 which may also happen in the power series, that the series 1 converges absolutely for all values of x, and in this case r is equal to infinite. Like in this case you are getting r is some positive real number for which you find the convergence, and in this case when the series converges for all values of x, in that case r will be infinite. And the last case is case 3, when series 1 converges absolutely only at the center of series, that is at x is equal to a, and in this case the value of r is equal to 0. So we will see with the help of the example that how we can find this r, and how we can see for which values of x our power series is converging and for which value of x it is diverging. So with the help of the example it will become more clear. So before going to the example, Let me write down the few steps how to test the convergence or divergence of the power series. Steps to test convergence or divergence of the power series. So first is use the ratio test, use the ratio or nth root test to find the interval where the series converges absolutely. Ordinarily, it is an open interval, or what we discussed like before, the cases where the power series can converge. So firstly you will apply the ratio test or nth root test, whatever is most suitable. Mainly we apply this ratio test only. This is rare, like we apply nth root test, but we can apply both. So we will apply first the ratio test and then we will find out the interval where the series converges absolutely. So we write this, that the series converges absolutely for this value. Then second is, if the series converges absolutely in the interval, if the interval of convergence is finite, that is you say that you got this interval, then test the convergence or divergence at the end point, that is a minus x is equal to a minus r and x is equal to a plus r. Third is that if the interval of convergence, you will write if the interval of convergence is, this will be absolute convergence, if the interval of absolute convergence is, then series diverges, for which I have already told you that the series diverges for this values of x. So now we will see the steps with the help of the example, so that it becomes more clear that what these steps are saying one by one. So let's see some examples. So this is your example 1 for the series. This is your series. For notation I write it as an, that is this value is an. Now you can see this is a power series because it contains the involvement of this variable x. So what do you need to find this? First, find the radius and the center of the series. That is, you need to find out the radius of convergence r and the center of the series a. Second is, for what values of x series converges absolutely, and second is conditionally. And the third one is, find first interval of absolute convergence. You can say it as, like this is a short form, I can write interval of absolute convergence, and second is interval of convergence of the series. Okay, so you need to find all these things for this power series. So what was our first step? That we will apply the ratio test to find out this radius and the center of the convergence. So let's start by applying the ratio test. So you know that the ratio test is applied for the positive series, like all the terms, and if I take the mod, so I am applying the ratio test for this, and an plus 1 I have written, this is an, so this is our an, and you know an plus 1 will be just n plus 1 in place of n. So this will be equal to, so this is, okay, so you got the limit as this. So you know the ratio test says that if the limit is less than 1, then only the series converges. So what will be the condition? That this should be less than 1 for the convergence of the power series. So you can write that for convergence, limit of should be less than 1. You have already seen that for the ratio test you find out the limit of the ratio, and then it is convergent if it is less than 1. Now this will hold true only if the value what is coming in terms of x is less than 1. So what does this imply? This implies that is less than 3. So, and again finally this implies that x is, if x is in between -3 to 3, the series will converge. So for whole domain, what we have found out, that the series converges for this value from -3 to 3, but we still don't know about the equality, that what will happen at the end point, at x is equal to -3 and at x is equal to 3. And we have also seen that for x, for all the x that is greater than this, our series will diverge. So till now we just don't know about what will happen at -3 and +3. For other values of x we know the nature. So now the next step is that we will find out what happens at x is equal to -3 and 3. Okay, now if I say this is my one equation, so while looking at 1, what will you say? That from 1 we see that radius of convergence is equal to 3 and center of series is equal to 0. You can see from here also. Like here, if you write it in this form, x minus a is less than 3. So here value of a is 0 and r is 3. So your radius of convergence is this, and the value, the center of the series will be equal to 0. So you have to find out the first one, that find the radius and the center of the series. The radius of convergence is 3 and the center of the series is 0. Okay. So now the second one is, for what values of x the series converges? Absolutely. Okay, now see that what you have done, you have taken the mod, and you have already proven that if mod of a series is convergent, then the series, the original series is also convergent. So if I see that if the mod of this is convergent in this interval, that means that it is absolutely convergent. So I can write, till now whatever I have done, I can write that the interval of absolute convergence is, and obviously the interval of convergence will be till now we know that, okay, if this is absolute interval convergence, the original series will also converge. So this is our interval of convergence also. Now some more points can be added, that is the end point, because till now we haven't seen what will happen at the end point. So let us check that this is not a final answer. This is till now what we have done. Under that we have written this is obviously radius of, and this can have two more points, like we can add two more points, because till now we haven't seen what will happen at -3 and 3. So let us see step 2 to check. So now what you will do, you will check the convergence at the end point, because for other values of x you already know the result. Just for these two values you till now don't know what will happen. So let us check for these two endpoints. Now at x is equal to, I'll take next page, at x is equal to -3. Now see the series what you have considered here. If you put x is equal to 3, you will take the original series, and if you put x is equal to 3, so what will happen? At x is equal to -3, the series 1 reduces to, you are saying this you are saying, you have taken a notation, and in place of x I am just putting in the question only, in the place of x you are putting -3. So you will get this series. See, just you have put x, and you can write this as n to the power 3 by 2, and this I have just put x in -3 in place of x. So this is equal to, you can see easily that this one will be equal to, so now say this as equation number 2. Okay, so now if you consider mod of b n, so what you can see that this is an alternating series. So in the alternating series what you have seen, that if you find the mod, that how does this mod of the series behaves, you can actually tell that if it comes out to be convergent, you can tell that the alternating series also converges without applying the lengthy Leibniz test. So to save our time, what we will do, we will find out the behavior of this, because we know that if it converges, our alternating series will also converge. So we are going to look for this. Now consider mod of Bn, which will be equal to this. Now you already know the behavior of this series. This is what? Convergent P series with P obviously greater than 1. P is equal to 3 by 2, which is greater than 1, so is convergent. Now this is convergent implies that this is convergent. You have already proved it, that if mod is convergent, our original series also converges. So now what you have seen, that at this point the power series converges absolutely. So see, till now you have written the absolute convergence interval is this. Now by this step 2, for this point, what you have found, that the interval of convergence has one more point, that we have added one more point x is equal to -3. Now we still don't know about this 3, what will happen at when x is equal to 3. So let us look at that case. So I can write for an, and this implies that summation of an is absolutely convergent at x is equal to -3. So I have added this point also because we are talking about an. So you can see that if this I put my an also will be like this at x is equal to -3. So I called it as Bn, and then I find that Bn is converging absolutely. So I have written this. Okay. So now at x is equal to, now at x is equal to 3, my series 1 reduces to, I'll write it as Cn. Cn means an at x is equal to 3. Bn means an at x is equal to -3. So this Cn will be equal to this. Okay, now this is again, you can easily see that convergent G series. So this is convergent P series with P is equal to 3/2, which is greater than 1. You have seen in this also the mod, and then okay, so at x is equal to 3, this series is convergent. So this implies that Cn, summation of Cn is convergent absolutely. Obviously, if you take the mod also, it will be the same. So the mod is also convergent, this one is also convergent, so Cn is also convergent. So this implies that summation of An is converging absolutely at x is equal to 3 also. Now see, so now what will be my updated absolute interval of absolute convergence? This equality will also hold, because now you can see that you have added one more point where you find that the series is converging. So the interval, the final interval of convergence will be this, and obviously if it is the interval of absolute convergence, it will be also the interval of convergence. So we will add this to equality here also, and for other values of x, the series will diverge. So you know for every value of x what will be the nature, that you will say that for x in between -3 to 3, including these 2 points, is absolutely convergent, and for every other values of x it will diverge. The radius of convergence is 3 and the center of the series is 0. So for the final, just for the summary of whatever you have done, I'll write interval of absolute convergence is, obviously interval of convergence will be also, in at least it will includes all the point of absolute convergence also, and the center is equal to 0 and radius of convergence will be equal to 3. So this is our final answer. I hope that why I added this equality is clear, that before that we did not know the nature at the endpoints. So we will see some more examples. Example 2, now you have this series. Now again same you have to do, find the radius of convergence, center, where for what values of x this series converges absolutely, converges, and obviously what are the values of x for which it converges conditionally. So let's see. Now first step is we will apply the ratio test. So let's apply the ratio test for the mod of this, that is xn plus 1 n plus 1 factorial into n factorial xn. So this will be equal to, okay, so now you can see that if I apply the limit, this will be equal to 0, and this is less than 1 for every x. Like, you don't have to put any restriction on the x to make this limit as less than 1. In the previous case, you have to put some restrictions on x. For this, the value of the ratio constant should be less than for the convergence. Now it is coming to be 0, which is already less than 1 for every x. So what did you find over here? That hence the radius of convergence is equal to infinite, and the center is equal to 0, and the series converges absolutely for all values of x. You don't have to find out like for which value of x it doesn't, because you can see that the limit is always 0, which is always less than 1. So you don't have to put the restrictions on x that okay, for this value of x your series is convergent, after that it is divergent, and finding at the end point. So in this case, thus you can see that the power series converges. You give any value of x, this given power series will converge. So let us take another example. Okay, again you will start by finding the ratio test, like you will apply the ratio test to this power series. So you will calculate this ratio, and you know why we are taking this mod, because if this mod you find what interval this mod converges, obviously the original series will also converge. You have proved it. So we will go for the mod case, that if this converges, the obviously the power series will converge, like if it absolutely converges. So you can see that if you find the ratio, you will get this, and you apply the limit, you are getting infinity for every value of x except this 0, because if you put x is equal to 0, for you are getting the value as 0 for x is equal to 0. Now for this it is less than 1, and for this it is greater than 1. So you can see easily from this that this power series will converge only for one value of x, that is x is equal to 0. So what we will write? So, and diverges elsewhere, hence r is equal to 0. So here the series converges absolutely for one value of x, that is x is equal to 0, and it diverges for other values of x. And here the radius of convergence is 0 and the center is also 0. So this completes all the analysis for this series. Okay, so now we will look at another series. So this is, you have a series and you want to see for what values of x the series converges absolutely, what is the radius of convergence, where the series converges conditionally. Okay. So again you need to start with finding the ratio for the mod of this series. So I'll write this as this. So this will be, okay, I'm writing directly. You can do few steps to see that ultimately you will get this. So this implies that 2x plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to, I can write it in this way also. I put the limit and this comes out to be 1, so I am left with this. So this I am getting this limit as this. Now obviously you are getting limit as this, and for the convergence you know that this should be less than 1. So you can write, so for convergence should be less than 1. Now you can find out the value of x, that is x should be in between. I'll write it, this implies that x is in between these two values. Okay, so now by looking at only this you can tell me what is the value of r and what is the value of a. So what will be the value of a? This is minus half. Therefore if I call it as equation number 2, because I have written it here 1, so this is 2. So from 2 I get center as a is equal to half. Radius of convergence is equal to 1. You can clearly see that this, and because our expression was like this, no, so here I have plus 1, so I can write this as this. So you can easily see that in place of a I am getting minus half, and in place of r I am getting 1. So my center will be minus half and the radius of convergence will be 1, and the interval of absolute convergence will be, till now, like we have, whatever we have seen, we have this information, but still we can have absolute convergence at the end point also. We haven't checked it now till now, but whatever analysis we have done, we can say at least this much, that my interval of absolute convergence will contain these points. We still don't know what will happen at the end point, and you know that if x is greater than half and it is less than minus 3 by 2, it will diverge. So we will not talk about that cases. We will just see what will happen at the end point, because till now we don't know. So now we will move on to step 2, at the nature at x is equal to minus 3 by 2 and half. So first at x is equal to minus 3 by 2, the series 1 reduces to, I'll write it as bn. Bn is an at x is equal to minus 3 by 2. So this is your 1. I'll put here in the place of x, I'll put minus 3 by 2 and see what will happen to this series 1, and I call it as bn. So if I put minus 3 by 2 in the place of x, you can easily see minus 3 by 2, you will get minus 2 to the power n, and this much will be left. So I get this, which is equal to, I can write this as this. So ultimately my series is this, at x is equal to 3 by 2. Now we consider mod of bn. So what will be the value of mod of bn? This will be equal to this. Now if I want to apply the limit comparison test to see the nature, so we have to consider some another series, and then we take divide with the nth term, so to get the nature. So let summation of Cn be this. I want to apply the limit comparison test. Applying limit comparison test. So I have considered this Cn as this, and then therefore limit. Okay, so now what you have found by limit comparison test, you can see that the limit is coming out to be this, which is greater than 0 and finite. So you know whatever will be the nature of this will be the nature of this Bn. So you already know what is the nature of this Cn. This is divergent. This is divergent P series with P equal to 1. So what can you comment about this Bn? This will also diverge by limit comparison test, and since you can write, since summation of Cn is divergent, this implies summation of mod Bn is also divergent. So therefore, hence summation of Bn, or you can say that An is not convergent absolutely at x is equal to minus 3 by 2. So this point is important, that you say that this is not converging absolutely at this point, but it may converge conditionally. Like you don't know about the summation of Bn, you know only the nature of because it is divergent. If it came out to be convergent, then you can say that mod of Bn is also convergent. But since this mod is divergent, you cannot say anything about the summation of Bn. So let us quickly see what will happen to this Bn. But summation of Bn is convergent by Leibniz test. Since you know that this Bn is an alternating series, you can see this Bn is an alternating series. So you can apply Leibniz test and see whether this Bn is convergent or divergent. So for this I have written the result first only, but you can see that Un is 2n plus 1, which is greater than 0 for every n greater than or equal to 1. Secondly, Un minus Un plus 1 is equal to 2n plus 1 and 2n plus 3, which is greater than 0 for every n greater than or equal to 1. This implies that Un is greater than Un plus 1 for every n greater than 1. So this the first condition, second condition is satisfied, and the third condition is limit n tending to infinity Un will be equal to, this will be equal to 0. Therefore all conditions are satisfied, and hence summation of Bn is convergent, but it does not converge absolutely at x is equal to minus 3 by 2. And if we see at x, we are left with another end point. We see that the series 1 reduces to, you can easily check, I call it as Dn, which is equal to, and you need not to check this because you already know that this is divergent. Therefore summation of An is also, this is divergent, and mod is divergent. Obviously this is not alternating, so mod is the same. So Dn is divergent, and therefore An is also divergent. So what is the ultimate result you are getting is that summary, that interval of absolute convergence is this. Now interval of convergence will have one added point and the center will be, you have already seen, and the radius will be 1. Now why I wrote this without equality and this, because you have seen that the mod was not convergent if x was minus 3 by 2. It was converging conditionally. So it will come under the interval of convergence, not the interval of absolute convergence. You have already seen this, that Bn was, mod of Bn was divergent, but if you see the original series, this Bn, it was converging by Leibniz test. So in the interval of absolute convergence there will be no equality, but in the interval of convergence there will be equality. So I hope you understand this. We will discuss some more examples in the next class. Thank you.